Hey guys, it's Kelly Kangen here from Whakatane, New Zealand. I'm really excited to tell you about Kangen water and what it's all about. Been on it for over 4 years now and had awesome health results with it and my family. So I'm just going to tell you why you want to be looking at Kangen water and not the other waters that are out there. So I'm first going to show you where this Kangen water comes from. So I'll take you over to my Kangen water machine. So this is it here. This is one of the machines. This is made from Enagic company over in Japan, and it's a medically graded device and endorsed by 6,500 doctors over there. So it's pretty good stuff in the hospitals over there as well. But how it works, the machine actually attaches to your tap, and then you can divert the water back, and it first goes through a filter, double carbonated filter, takes out all the lye and rust and all the chemicals, and then it goes through the back of the plates, and the water goes up and over through electrolysis, and it splits the water into really alkaline and acidic water and creates really neat properties to the water, so we can actually drink really nice, good, healthy water, which you can only get in a few places left in the world now. So I'm going to go back and show you the properties of the water and why you really want to be looking at Kangen. So I've already poured these, and I'll go through the first property, which is the antioxidants that this machine produces. So through the electrolysis, it creates an electrical charge, and it creates antioxidants in our water. Now we know oxidation happens to us on a daily basis. We are exposed to it all the time through what we drink, what we eat, what we breathe. Just our whole environment now is way more toxic. So we want antioxidants to be able to reduce the oxidation in our system, because when our cells, which is a negative and a positive charge, when it loses that negative charge through all the oxidation, it becomes unstable, and it can form with many other unstable cells and create free radicals, and free radicals create disease. That's what we want to get away from. So antioxidants are super important, and it's really relative to how long we live, so it's really important that we get a lot of them. So I'm just going to show you here whether these liquids here are an antioxidant, which is good, healthy living, or whether it's an oxidant, which is dead, dying, rusting. So I've got a ORP meter, it's called. So it's an oxidation reduction potential meter, and it's got the potential to, we're going to see if these liquids have a potential to reduce the oxidation in our body. We need lots of oxygen in our body, hydrogen in our body, and we're going to see if these liquids have any. So I'm going to turn it on, and just before I go through that, I'm just going to go through here. We know what happens to our, apples, our fruit. When you cut it in half, what it actually happens is it starts going brown. Our cells do that every day on a daily basis, and yeah, we're just going to go through these here. So I want to show you how we can have anti-aging water and reduce the oxidation in our body so we can be healthier. So if it's a positive reading, it means it's oxidizing, it's dead. If it's a negative reading, it's an antioxidant, which is good. So we want, that's a positive reading, which isn't good. You can see there. This is, that was pump water, which is really common in New Zealand. I used to drink it all the time. This is Antipodes water. That's another positive reading, so not good for our systems. Powerade, it's our sports drink. That too is a positive reading, not good. Okay, this is our Sprite, which is like all our sodas, right up there, not good either. And then we've got our Whakatane local tap water, which kind of reads like all waters in New Zealand, I've noticed. That's a positive reading as well. Now, I hadn't poured the Kangen water because it's antioxidants and it's alive. We want to keep the top on, so we want to make sure that we keep all those lovely antioxidants in there, because once it hits the air, it starts oxidizing, a bit like that apple and our cells. We lose that electron. So I'm going to put that in here, and can you get a close-up of that? Yeah, that's pretty awesome. That's a negative 575. Now you can see big difference. So once it's a negative reading, it's healthy and good for us. So just on this chart here, you can see green tea has a reading of -80. You could either drink a gallon, which is almost 4 litres of green tea, or 1 glass of Kangen water. Vitamin C a -50. Not saying these aren't good, they're great for you, but the antioxidant value is so high in Kangen water. So you know, our water can reach up to a -800, which is pretty huge. And you know, you couldn't eat the fruit and veggies in a day to match 1 glass of Kangen water. That's how awesome the antioxidants are. So you want to be drinking living water. Alright, the next property of the water is the alkalinity. Now, acidosis is where all root disease is formed, so we want to make sure that we keep our bodies in an alkaline state, and by drinking Kangen water we can do that really, really easily, because we know that our diets now become really acidic. So the pH scale goes from a 0 to 14 here, and 0 to 14 pH, and in the middle is 7, which is neutral. So if we really want to keep our bodies above 7 in that alkaline state, a lot of our foods and our drinks have become very acidic below that. So where that 7 and below, that is where disease will create itself in our body. So we want to keep alkaline. So I've got some drops here, some pH drops, what you use like in a swimming pool. So we really want to want to test whether these liquids are acidic or alkaline, and we'll know by the colour in which it goes to where it sits. So I'm just going to put a few drops in each, and we can see whether it's healthy or unhealthy. Remembering disease grows in an acidic environment. So we can see here where it sits on the scale, and it's not looking very good this way. Okay, so we can really see how alkaline our Kangen water is, and we can see just how acidic all our that's our tap water. It's actually looking a lot better than the bottled waters. The reason why it's looking neutral, it's actually usually a little bit more alkaline than that, but the reason it's looking even neutral is that they put, the council, it's mandated, government mandated that they put in a really high alkaline chemical in there of 14 pH, like lye, and they're able to bring the pH from a really acidic state to a neutral state, so it doesn't rust the town pipes. It'll rust ours if we keep drinking that or cooking in it or bathing in it. So yeah, so we can see they're very acidic, but the really good news is just by drinking Kangen water, we can bring our bodies back into an alkaline state. So I'm just going to show you, this is the 9.5, just how awesome that is. Down tip of these, and just keep your eye on that one. We'll just keep going along, but it can, yeah, there we go. That's a bit strange, that one. The Powerade, I could just keep pouring and pouring that. It's going to take 32 glasses for that and the soda, 32 glasses until it even goes neutral. So that's how acidic it is for our bodies. We don't want our kids to be drinking this as much as our All Blacks seem to promote it. Not good. There's our tap water. Alright, and I want to show you just how acidic this is and what it can do to Kangen water. Just one sip. Ugh. Yeah, so we really want to be drinking Kangen water, keeping alkaline and keeping away from the sodas. Alright, the next property of the water is the microclustering. Now what that means is, through the electrolysis process in the machine, it's able to fragment the water right down from really large molecules, which tap and bottled water have, into really, really smaller water, into like 5 to 8 molecules, so just as it says here. So when it's smaller, it means that it's able to really hydrate you on a different level, like up to 6 times better than filtered or bottled or tap water. And then you're able to receive the nutrients into your body better, and yeah, it's just basically a lot healthier for you when it's smaller water, because when you're hydrated on a different level, everything else works better in your body. But I actually want to show you how small the water is, because it's easy to explain, but to actually see it visually very different again. So I want to show you how small the water is and how it can take the pesticides and herbicides off your fruit and veggies, because they are sprayed really heavily, we know that now, very heavily, and because it's usually wax kind of coated, oil based, you can't get the sprays off, but Kangen water is so small you can. So I'm going to pour tap water into this one. Okay, and I'm going to pour some strong alkaline water that I've made earlier, because I wash all my fruit and veggies with this. Not make it very even, but I'll let that sit while I show you some other properties. So I'm just going to let that sit there and see how that goes. Alright, so when the water is too large, and I know I used to get this all the time, I used to always feel bloated and my stomach would slush around, even make noises. It's because the water is so large that it just sits in your stomach and can't be absorbed through your intestines. Our Kangen water is so small that it can go right through and hydrate you on a different level. So you can drink and drink and drink this water and actually not feel bloated. It's amazing. Yeah, so I'm going to show you, just with the ordinary Kangen water, how small this is, and just kind of relate this to our bodies. But you know, when you want to make a cup of tea or coffee, you need to boil the jug to get the tea to kind of, the flavours to come out. It's because when you boil the jug, it microclusters the water. It changes the structure of the water, makes it smaller. So I want to show you how our water is like that already, cold. We don't have to boil it. So we've got, I'm going to put tap water here. Tap water here. And I'm going to use the same tea bag, so I'm not doing any crazy tricks on you. I know we'll use this water. This is just Kangen 9.5. Okay. And liking this to your body, you can drink this water. So this is tap. Give it a good go here. Oops, this is Kangen water. Whoops. Tap. And Kangen water. It's pretty amazing. So when you drink this water, you're going to get hydrated on a completely different level, and you're going to feel fantastic for it. So that's just proof there of how small the water is, which is pretty amazing, I reckon. Okay, and the other one I want to show you is oil. So remember my science teacher saying oil and water don't mix, but we know that, you know, like if we make a roast or something like that, we need to boil the jug to be able to get all the fats and stuff off the bottoms of the tray. It's because you've microclustered the water, so it's able to lift that all out. I want to show you with our water how it can do that as well without having to boil it and do all those other things. So tap water with this sesame oil. You can just see there that oil and water don't mix, and because the clusters are too large, it can't break it down. Alright. Here is our, our really strong water. And look what it just did to that. Completely emulsified it. So that really strong 11.5, really high alkaline water has got so many good uses for degreasing. It's a degreaser. So if it can do that to oil, you can imagine what it does to your household. You can clean benches and do lots of stuff with that. Alright, let's see what's happening with our tomatoes. Alright, so usually I would have left that in my sink. I get all my fruit and veggies from the supermarket, and I put them in my sink and let it sit there for 10 to 15 minutes, and the colour of the water is just horrible. So my kids know not to eat anything until it's been washed. But so this is the tomatoes that were done in tap. I'm going to pour it out so you can see that not much has come off at all, maybe a little bit of dirt. This is the Kangen water. Oops. And we can see already how much has come off that. You can get a good close up there. but we can see just, all those horrible pesticides and herbicides. And actually I was reading something the other day that we can absorb up to 5 litres a year of our fruit and veggies of pesticides and herbicides. So you imagine what that's doing to our insides. We need to get away from that. So that's microclustering. Okay, so I'm pretty excited to talk to you about molecular hydrogen. Now hydrogen is the smallest molecule in the universe. It's half the size of oxygen, and through the electrolysis process through our machine, it creates a process where the hydrogen is free and bioavailable to the body. So being the smallest antioxidant, it's able to actually pass through the blood-brain barrier, through the mitochondria, and it's actually able to be bioavailable to all our cells and do some really good work. And it's a free radical scavenger, but it scavenges out the free radicals that are really, really harmful to our bodies. So it's precise in what it does. So it'll go in there and it'll actually turn those harmful free radicals into water waste. So whenever we're drinking this water, we're continuously getting a detoxifying experience basically, and getting rid of all our toxins in our body. But I want to show you the hydrogen, because you can actually see it in our water. Now tap, bottled, all of that hasn't got, it's got hydrogen, but it's not freely available. So through the process it's freely available through here. So I've turned our machine on. I'm actually going to show you. You can actually see the hydrogen in the water. It's pretty exciting. So you can see the cloudiness there. That there is amazing for your health. Amazing. You can see that there. That is so good. So yeah, but I'm also going to show you the hydrogen in the water, and you can actually hear it. So I'm going to put a lighter to it. Hydrogen gas, you would have heard of that. Hear it cracking? Yeah, like a firecracker. That's pretty amazing for your body. So yeah, just wanted to show you that, because that is one of the best properties of the water for your health and for your body. Okay, so I'm going to do the chlorine test. Our Kangen water machines, they take out all the chlorine and heaps of other nasty chemicals that are in our water. So I'm just going to show you. This is the Kangen water. I have some chlorine drops here, and I'm just going to put some in. So you can see there's no chlorine in there, otherwise it would turn yellow. Here's our Whakatane tap water. I'm going to put some in there. And I'm actually going to put my fingers in that, just while we do this. And there. Okay, I'll do that with one hand. Alright, so I'm going to put some drops into here. Oh, it's quite hard to squeeze. That's alright. We can see it's gone bright yellow. Oh, that's the chlorine. There's only 5 drops. That's the chlorine in our tap water. I want to show you what happens when you cook with tap water. It's pretty crazy. So I've just cut up some some onions earlier. And I'm just going to show you just how much our food absorbs chlorine. Alright, I hardly even stirred it actually before that happened. So you know where the chlorine's gone, it's gone into your food. So if you're cooking with tap water, not a good thing. Okay, so my hands have been in here. I'm going to put some chlorine drops in here. Yeah, nothing. That's just been absorbed into my body. A 10-minute shower, you can absorb up to 5 to 8 cups, big cups of chlorine into your system. So, you know, we're getting it from each angle. So we really want to be looking at Kangen water to get away from that, because we've got a shower unit as well. So, but a lot of people use the beauty water to spray on their bodies to get their pH back from a really acidic state back to an alkaline state as well. Alright, so just a wrap up of the demonstration. So just remembering that through the machine, the properties of the water makes it alkaline or as acidic as you like. It also makes a 2.5 pH hypochlorous acid. So that is able to get rid of, it's like a disinfectant. So it's able to get rid of MRSA, staph, yeah, it's a really, really good disinfectant. We've got art lab reports to back us up on that. Also, it's alkaline, acidic, plenty of antioxidants, which is great for our health. It's got molecular hydrogen, which is amazing again for our health. It's microclustered, so it's smaller water. We're able to really hydrate better. And one thing I did forget to mention was that this water is very super anti-inflammatory as well. So that, along with anti-aging, it's all really good. So not only can you drink with it, but you can also clean your whole house with it. So you can start going chemical free, which is fantastic for all of us. So and not just only for us, but for our planet also. We really need to start getting away from chemicals and making it a healthier place, basically. So all the different pH levels, our machine makes seven different kinds of pH levels for different things. But you can clean your house from top to bottom with it and start replacing those chemicals in the home. So that is just a basic wrap up of it all. It's got a fantastic skincare one as well, beauty water, and so what you'll end up doing is drinking with it, cooking with it, cleaning with it. I mean, it's a massive save on money, because you just start replacing all the chemicals in your home. So just get back to the person that sent you along to this demo, and even just trial the water and see for yourself. Otherwise, investing in a machine is a fantastic idea.